Scream 6 is once again directed by the Radio Silence guys, just like Scream 5. The whole idea of not calling the last one Scream 5 and just calling it Scream, and then making even more money and setting a franchise record on opening weekend when you actually just give in and call it Scream 6 is very funny to me. Just call it what it is. It's fine. We all know what it is. Just call it that. This is the first in the franchise to not take place in Woodsboro. This movie takes place in New York, much like Jason Takes Manhattan, which is referenced in this movie when someone's watching it on TV. In this film, Samantha and Tara have escaped the horror of what happened to them last time, but now Ghostface has followed them all the way to New York City, and more killings begin. I love the Scream movies. I really enjoy all of them, even 3, which I've come to like a lot more over the years. All of them are unique to me in various ways. I'm a big fan of Scream 4, which is why I was very excited to see that Hayden Panettiere would be back as Kirby. I love that she's back in this franchise, and I liked the last one. I thought Radio Silence did a very good job, and so the idea of a 6th movie in a horror franchise, you sit back and you think to yourself, can you keep doing this? They can. The formula works. As long as they understand what they are, acknowledge that, have fun with it, which is exactly what Scream 6 does. And it's also very well made. But even more so than just those elements, I think they do really interesting things with the characters, namely Tara and Samantha. Especially what they're doing with Samantha Carpenter and the continued exploration of her backstory, that her father was Billy Loomis, this serial killer, and that darkness is in her. This movie takes that to other interesting angles, and you get to see how that affects her and those around her. Watching her in this movie reminded me of Ellen Ripley in Aliens, which is obviously a massive compliment. But it's the idea that you're watching a character that's been through the thing and now they're trying to educate other people. People are like, come on, that was in Woodsboro, it's time to move on. Even her therapist doesn't know how to handle her. And it's really fun to see someone with that much resolve be proven right over and over again. I always like that when you have a hero in a movie that's positive something should be taken seriously and other people aren't, and you get to watch that character get proven right time and time again. It's very satisfying. The movie also has 3 very strong set pieces for the Scream franchise. There's this daring escape with a ladder over a huge drop in an alleyway. There's a supermarket suspense scene that's really great. I imagine they probably talked a little bit about the Jurassic Park kitchen scene with the raptors while they were prepping this scene. Maybe they didn't, but it reminded me of that in a very positive way. And there's an excellent sequence on a subway as well, utilizing the city of New York and the fact that the lights go on and off sometimes on the subway. And that's one of the stronger elements of the movie too. The location change allows them to do a lot more. I actually went back after seeing Scream 6 the first time, because I've seen this movie twice. After I saw it the first time, I went back and I watched Scream 5 as well as the original Scream. And then I went back and saw Scream 6 a second time tonight, and you really do feel it open up. The more opportunities for the characters to go to different locations and utilize a completely different city. At the same time, though, the formula is still there. You have characters that talk about the history of horror and what legacy means for these types of movies, what a reboot or requel is, and that the legacy characters are expendable, and all of those things are all still in this movie. You have Dewey's theme, even though Dewey obviously isn't in the movie. You've got Red Right Hand, of course, in the film. So the location changes, but the story remains the same. What's interesting to me about Scream 6 is what they do with Samantha Carpenter and her continued struggle against this darker side of herself. It's also just very well paced, and they do take their time with the characters to make them be more than just meat for Ghostface to carve up. I am very happy to say that I like every Scream movie. It's a franchise that's still going strong, and obviously it just set a record for the franchise at the opening weekend for the box office, and that's great. There are a couple things about the movie I would have liked to have been a little different, and these are spoilers. I'm going to warn you if you haven't seen the movie. We're past opening weekend now. I'm a little late with this review. I apologize for that, but we're going to talk about a couple spoilers for a few things. In the opening scene, you see Ghostface kill somebody. And then Ghostface takes their mask off. And in that moment, I thought to myself, oh wow, are we actually going to spend an entire movie knowing who Ghostface is? That's never been done before. How are they going to pull this off? And I was incredibly intrigued by that, and that didn't happen. The real Ghostface comes in and kills that guy. And so I guess that's kind of my expectations built up for something the filmmakers weren't planning, but they weren't expectations based off of a trailer. It was what I was watching in the movie. So I do think for Scream 7, that is a compelling idea, writers out there. Try writing a Scream movie where you know who the villain is the whole time and you're just watching your characters figure it out. You know, like, I don't know. That could be really fun if you actually, for once in a Scream movie, let the audience be ahead of the characters and you start to fear for them in certain ways because you know things that they don't. That could be interesting. Spoiler-wise, that's about it. I was iffy on the reveal the first time. Second viewing, though, I was able to see a lot of hints that were planted, and I think it works pretty well. The idea of having it being in this like theater filled with memorabilia of all of the Scream movies, or in this case, the Stab movies, is very, very funny. That's really it. Scream 6 is awesome. It's one of the better sequels. I hope you guys check it out in theaters. I love what horror is doing right now for theaters. It's just absolutely fantastic. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.